Do you feel like you're the best edge defender in college football heading into next season?
Yeah, no question. I definitely feel like I'm the best pass defender and edge rusher in college football.
Welcome to another episode of Preferred Walk On. I'm your host, Max Chadwick. We've got another interview for you guys today. If you haven't already, check out the series of interviews that I've done so far. And next up is Penn State edge defender Chop Robinson, who transferred to the Nittany Lions from Maryland this past season, and he was phenomenal as a true sophomore. He led all Power 5 edge defenders with a 90.6 grade and a 92.4 pass rushing grade, and his 22% pass rush win rate was third among Power 5 edge defenders this past season. Chop Robinson is my number 3 edge defender in college football heading into the 2023 season, and he was a top 20 pick in my way too early 2024 NFL mock draft. So go check out that video if you haven't already. And of course, check out the feature article I did both on Chop Robinson and on Kalen King. It was a dual feature, and the Kalen King interview will be dropping shortly. But check out that dual feature over at pff.com. And a major thank you to the executive producer of the show, the guy who sets up every single one of these interviews, Dave Sofaro, for yet another superstar, and we've got more to come before the season kicks off. But without further ado, here he is, Penn State edge defender, Chop Robinson. First question I want to ask you. So I feel like everyone knows you by your nickname, which is Chop, and not your actual name, which is Davion. Like, how did you get that nickname Chop?
So when I was born, I was 14 pounds. And growing up, my nickname was Pork Chop. Like my dad gave me that name, and then all the neighborhood friends was calling me Pork Chop because I was just big as a baby. And then once I got older, I started to slim down. So I was like, I can't be called Pork Chop because I'm not big no more. So I just took the pork out and I just kept it Chop, and it's been that ever since.
You slimmed down to Chop, which I think might be one of the coolest nicknames in college football right now, man. I love that. So do you like that nickname Chop, and you like going by that instead of Davion?
Yeah, I love the nickname. It's easy and simple.
Yeah, it is for sure. Listen, coming out of high school, you were a super highly rated recruit coming out of high school. Was there like a moment in your childhood, like maybe a specific play when you blew up an offensive tackle and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm better than everyone here on the field right now. Maybe a career in football is possible for me.
So I remember my sophomore year when I got to my new high school, when I transferred over, I was on a scout team, and I think it was probably week 8 by this time. I was on a scout team going against the first offense, and I was just blown past the tackles, getting in the backfield, like making TFL so crazy and quickly. And then once I started seeing that, I was like, oh, like I actually have a chance. And then next thing you know, one of the guys that was in front of me, something happened. He couldn't play like the first half of the game coming up Friday. So then I come to find out Friday when the game happened, when I came, my coach told me, he was like, you got to start the first half. And then ever since then, that's when it just been rolling.
Dude, it's honestly hilarious that you ever were playing scout team for anything. It's honestly pretty funny. So yeah, I'm sure your coach was like, "Oh, wait a minute, we might have to put this kid on the field immediately." So what made you? Obviously, you went to Maryland for 1 year, then transferred out of there. What made you want to enter the transfer portal after your 1 year at Maryland?
Well, honestly, I just felt like it wasn't the best spot for me personally. I just felt like I had to, expand myself. I felt like I was out of position. So I just made the best decision for myself.
For sure, man. And what made you ultimately decide on Penn State coming out of the transfer portal?
It was no hesitation. I was recruited highly by Coach Franklin coming out of high school, so I already had the relationship with him and all the other coaches on the staff. So it was like a no-brainer coming in.
For sure. And so I read in a past interview you've done where you talked to Arnold Ebiketie a lot when you were in the transfer portal. He was a guy who transferred in from Temple, blew up in his 1 year at Penn State, now obviously in the NFL now. Was he a major reason why you wanted to come to Penn State?
Yeah, it was just, we from the same area also. He's from Maryland too. So seeing that and his progress from Temple and then coming to Penn State in just 1 year. And then actually when I came on my visit, I actually seen like the tape, the proof from how he played at Temple to his development at Penn State. So after watching that and then talking to him and the benefits from it, it was just like no hesitation. I just wanted to be here as quick as I can.
Dude, I think you had a similar kind of breakout year like he did in that past year. But can you kind of break the hearts of another fan base right now? If you didn't transfer to Penn State, what school do you think you would have ended up at?
USC. So
Oh,
yeah,
they would have had a lot of fun with you there too, man. That would have been great. But I know me and a lot of other Penn State fans are very happy that you're there now. But listen, man, you were one of the best edge defenders in the country this past season. You led all of them in overall grade for PFF, pass rushing grade. Your pass rush win rate was fantastic. Do you feel like you're the best edge defender in college football heading into next season?
yeah, no question. I definitely feel like I'm the best pass defender and edge rusher in college football.
For sure. I love that, man. So what do you think separates you then from other edge defenders around college football?
I would say my speed and my strength, me being able to bend around the corner on them, big linemen, they're like 6'6", 300 pounds, and having a guy like my size being able to move as quickly and use my hands to bend the corner is just like very effective.
Yeah, I love the inside moves that you do all the time, man. Those are the ones I think there's no offensive tackles can really block those, man. But are there any edge defenders in the NFL that you look at and you say, okay, I'm going to try to take something from his game and implement it into my game? Is there anyone that you try to compare yourself to in the NFL now?
I wouldn't say compare myself to, but there's definitely a lot of edge guys in the NFL that I look at, like Von Miller, the Bosa brothers, all them type of guys, because they're just freaks at what they do. So just watching them and then getting the little tweaks from their game, it just helped me out a lot.
For sure, man. So a question I love asking every player I'm able to talk to is, say I'm an NFL GM or a coach or whoever, and I say, show me who you are in one play. What would be that one play that you point to and say, that's who I am. That's the best play of my career. For you, I'd probably say that Purdue game-ending sack, basically, that you had. What would you say that the play of yours that would have been like the best player you made so far?
Um, I honestly say against playing against Auburn, I made an inside move, and then the quarterback stepped up, and then Jair Brown caused a fumble, and then you
Mm-hmm.
could just the motor just kept going, and then I missed the sack, but once I seen the ball on the ground, I got up, motor kept going, and I jumped on the ball and I got the fumble recovery.
Hell yeah, man. That was one of the other plays I was going to mention too. But I don't know if you paid attention to any of this, man, but you look at mock drafts right now. Your name is consistently in the first round of those kind of mock drafts. Have you thought about the potential of, this could be my last year of college football and then I could be fulfilling a lifelong dream in the NFL very soon?
No, no, I haven't been thinking anything like that. I just been focused on the season coming up, summer workouts, and then when it happens, it happens.
I love that, man. So I actually talked to Ola Fashanu earlier, and I said, man, who's the best edge defender you've ever gone against? And thinking he'll give me like an Ohio State edge or something like that. He's like, dude, Chop Robinson gives me fits every single day in practice. What is it like? Because Olu, like you, I mean, you guys are going to be probably future first round picks. What is it like facing a future, maybe top 10 pick in Olu Fashanu every single day in practice?
Well, having a guy like his size, like he has great feet for his size. It's nothing like it. So going against that every single day in practice is just like iron sharpen iron. So he's making me better. I'm making him better. So once we go out there doing the game, it's like cake. Like it's simple.
Dude, I would kill for practice footage of you going against Olu every day. That I'm sure NFL evaluators be hitting up Penn State, being like, I don't want to see chop tape against anyone else besides just practice footage of him against Olu. That must have been so much fun. But maybe besides Olu, is there any offensive lineman that you say, okay, those are the guys that maybe gave me the best battle so far in my career?
Um, I would say the both of the Ohio State tackles. I think
Mm-hmm.
those were best tackles, and I think they're going to have great NFL careers because the type of players that they were in college. So I think they would be great pros.
Is there any NFL, or maybe not NFL, but any college football offensive lineman, or maybe even NFL offensive lineman that you watch and you go, I can't wait to battle that guy?
I'll say Trent Williams on the 49ers.
Dude, that would be
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, he's a monster.
he is a
So he's a monster, dude. So a lot of people are very, very high on you guys heading into next year, calling you a playoff contender for sure. What do you think this Nittany Lion team is capable of, and what are your expectations for this Penn State team?
Honestly, for us, we just take things game by game, want to know every week, and then it goes on from there.
For sure, man. Do you have any individual goals heading into next season?
Just to win with my team, that's my individual goal.
Hell yeah, man. I love that. So, you're not the only superstar on the defense that wears number 4 on the jersey. Kalen King is one of the top corners in the country in the NFL draft as well. What's your relationship like with Kalen, and what do you think makes him such a special cornerback?
We have a great relationship. We actually came up with a handshake for this season coming up. So yeah, and then him as a corner, I think just him being so aggressive for his size and he has great speed. He always uses his hands, and he just aggressive corner. Having that on your defense, it honestly helped me out because it gives me time to get back to the quarterback. So if
Dude,
it wasn't
go
for
ahead.
the secondary, I wouldn't be the player I am today,
Hell
honestly.
yeah, man. Can you tell me that handshake? What is that handshake that you and Kalen got?
You just gotta wait for it.
I can't wait for it, man. Listen, you guys got not only do you have you a superstar on the defensive line, Kalen a superstar in the secondary, you have a superstar defensive coordinator too, and Manny Diaz. You used to be the head coach in Miami for a number of years. What's your relationship like with Coach Diaz, and how great do you think he puts you guys in a position to succeed at the next level?
We have a great relationship. We talk every single day, and with his defense, there's really no hesitation. You just get off the ball and just go attack. And having that with my speed and stuff like that, it just benefits me a lot.
Absolutely, man. What about Coach Franklin? What was it like being recruited by Coach Franklin both out of high school and in the transfer portal? And what's your relationship like with him?
We have a great relationship. That's my guy. Coming out of high school, he recruited me, and everything was great. Coming out of transfer portal, everything was great. It's just like you just felt that love like within instead of just football. It was beyond football with him. It was family, academics, all those type of things. And having a coach like that, which is beyond football, that really cares about you, it makes a big difference.
So one thing I love asking defensive linemen and even offensive linemen too is like, how does their mentality shift from passing plays to running plays? What are some of the kind of like the tells that you get from maybe offensive linemen or maybe the offenses you face against and knowing, hey, this is what I got to do in pass rushing, this is what I got to do in run defense, and how does your mentality kind of shift in both those aspects?
First off, starting off, watching film, you see what type of how that pass stance are, the run stance, and then picking up on those keys it help you a lot coming out in the game because then when you're out there on the field, you see those stances or those keys that you picked up on watching film, and then you just change your mentality. Oh, I got a pass rush, or a run is coming. So it just watching film just really helps.
So when you watch film, like how much film do you watch and how important is that in getting ready for Saturdays?
Honestly, you don't want to like load your head with so much stuff. You just pick up on a lot of the small things that will help benefit you during the game. So that's what I do. I don't really try to load myself up watching every single play. I pick up on the small keys and I build on them from there.
So I think you have one of the unique jersey numbers for edge defender and wearing number 44. Is there a specific reason why you like to wear number 44?
I would say my older brother in high school, he always wore 44, and then I was looking up to him because he was a great player in high school. So watching that, it was just like, yeah, I want to wear it. I wanted to be like him, and he was an edge rusher too. So
That's awesome, man. What does your older brother think of you now? Like how amazing you've been so far in your career?
he think highly of me. He keep me working hard. He keep me level headed. Keep me pushing. He just told me, I still got to do what I got to do to get where I want to go.
Hell yeah, man. So what should be the expectations from media guys like me, from fans for Chop Robinson in 2023?
It will be a great season.
Hell yeah, dude. That sounds awesome. Well, listen, Chop, this is an awesome interview, dude. You guys have a hell of a team. You're gonna have a hell of a year next year, man. I really appreciate you taking the time out.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.